Hello. We are back for chapter 3 and 4 of the graduation day mystery. Yesterday when we left off, they had just watched Eric's dad graduate from college, and Grandpa had a special present for him wrapped up in silver paper. But when they picked up the bag, there was nothing silver in the bag, just animal crackers and some apple juice and toys. Let's keep going. Grandpa opened the bag. He took out a small toy train. Is that the present you got for Dad? Diane asked. He doesn't want it. If he doesn't want it, I'll take it. Grandpa shook his head. This toy is not mine. He looked into the bag and said, none of these things are mine. Eric said, that train looks like the one Harry had. He sat behind us. Grandpa looked under his chair. He looked under the chairs in all the rows. Please, he said, help me find my bag. There's something very valuable in it. I know what's so valuable, Diane said. It's the surprise you have for Dad. The Sheltons and Cam looked under all the chairs in their rows, and the ones in the nearby rows, too. Look what I found, Diane said. Lots of programs. When Donna and I get home, we can have a pretend graduation. I'll be the president and make a really long speech. And I'll be a graduate, Donna said, and I'll get a diploma, said her mother. Grandpa, Diane said, maybe you took the bag with you when you went to take Dad's picture. Maybe the bag's all the way up front. Grandpa shook his head. No, I took the camera out of the bag when I walked up front. Then I put it back. I'm going to go look up front, Mr. Shelton said. In a big crowd, sometimes things get moved. Cam and Eric went with him. The cat followed them. Grandpa, Mrs. Shelton, and the twins continued to look near their seats. Cam, Eric, and Mr. Shelton walked through the crowds of people leaving the field. Look carefully at what everyone is carrying, Eric said. Maybe someone has Grandpa's bag. Is it just a regular small brown shopping bag? Mr. Shelton asked. Cam closed her eyes and said, click. Cam bumped into a tall man wearing a black cap and gown. Excuse me, said the man. She bumped into the cat. Meow. Eric took Cam's hand. Yes, Cam said with her eyes still closed. I'm looking at the picture I have in my head of Grandpa's shopping bag. It is brown. It's not very big. Has two small brown rope handles. Cam opened her eyes. I haven't seen anyone carrying a bag like that, said Mr. Shelton. They looked under the rows and rows of chairs near the platform, but they didn't find a bag. Let's go back, Mr. Shelton told Cam and Eric. It's not here. As they walked back where Eric's family was sitting, they looked under all the rows of chairs. When they got back, Mrs. Shelton was still holding Howie. He was sleeping. Grandpa was next to them. On the chair on the other side of Grandpa was a bag with the toys and animal crackers and apple juice. We didn't find it, Mr. Shelton told Grandpa. This is terrible, Grandpa said. The gift I had in there can't be replaced. And my camera with all my pictures of graduation is also in there. Is the gift worth lots of money? Donna asked. Yes, and it's been in the Shelton family for almost 100 years. I think I know what happened, Donna said. I think Harry took Grandpa's bag. That's it, Diane said. He took Grandpa's shopping bag by mistake. I think she's right, said Mr. Shelton. Yay, Diane said. We did it. Donna and I solved the mystery. You solved one mystery, Cam said, but Grandpa Shelton still doesn't have his bag. Maybe someone found it and gave it to the security people. Now there's another mystery to solve, Eric said. We think Harry took Grandpa's bag, but where's Harry? We don't even know his last name. We have to find out who this Harry is and where he is. We have to get Grandpa's bag back. Chapter 4. What do we do now? Eric asked. We do what Cam suggests, Mrs. Shelton said. We have to tell the security people what happened. Maybe the boy didn't take Grandpa's bag, and someone found it. Maybe his mother realized it wasn't his bag and gave it to one of the guards. Cam and the Sheltons went to the gate at one end of the field. A man and a woman in green and yellow uniforms were sitting behind a table. Grandpa told them what happened. Told them what happened there. Eric showed them the bag. They had the wrong bag. It sounds like a simple mistake, one of the guards said. Hopefully the woman and little boy who took the bag will come back here with it. Grandpa told the guards what was in the bag. My camera is digital. When you find it, look at the pictures. You'll know it's mine. Almost all the ones I took today are of my son. That's me, Mr. Shelton told the guards. Give us your cell phone number, the first guard said. We'll call you if the woman and her son come back. What about the bag? What about this bag? Grandpa asked. Leave it here. Grandpa left the bag on the table. Then he wrote his cell phone number on a small piece of paper. The guards gave him a card with a number. I'm Janet Jones, the woman guard said. And I'm Paul Coogan, the other guard said. I hope you find your things. Cam and the Sheltons walked away from the table. What do we do now? Grandpa Shelton asked. Dad's a college graduate, Mrs. Shelton said. We still go to the Green Stripe restaurant and celebrate. We can walk there. It's just a few blocks away. Mr. Shelton held Donna and Diane's hand. Mrs. Shelton put Howie in the stroller. The cat followed them as they walked through two large stone columns at the entrance of campus. Mr. Shelton stopped. Goodbye, he said to the columns into the college, and thank you. He started walking towards the restaurant. Mr. Shelton stood by the entrance to the college. Aren't you forgetting something? She asked. Mr. Shelton looked at Donna and Diane. He looked at Howie in the stroller. He looked at Grandpa, Eric, and Cam. No, he said. Everyone's here. What about your cap and gown? Mrs. Shelton asked. Oh, am I still wearing them? Mr. Shelton took off his cap and gown. He put them in a zippered bag strapped to the back of Howie's stroller. Then the Sheltons and Cam walked to the Green Stripes restaurant. Look at the line, said Grandpa Shelton. I called. They're expecting us, Eric's mother told him. We shouldn't have to wait. Mrs. Shelton went to the front of the line. She spoke with a woman in the green striped dress. Mrs. Shelton waved to her family and Cam. Eric told the cat, You can't come with us. Meow. The cat sat on the sidewalk. She watched as Cam and the Sheltons followed the woman in the green striped dress into the restaurant. Wow, Cam whispered to Eric. This place is fancy. The tables were covered with green striped cloths. The waiters wore green striped bow ties and jackets. The woman in the green striped dress led the Sheltons and Cam past a lot of tables and lots of people. She led them down a few steps to a lower level of the restaurants. Please be seated, she said when they came to a long empty table. Your waiter will be here soon. She brought a high chair for Howie. Look at the walls. Look at the pictures, Eric whispered. This place is like a museum. Cam and Eric sat on one side of the table. Grandpa sat next to Cam. A tall man in a green striped jacket came to the table. He gave everyone a menu. My name is Roger, the waiter told everyone at the table. Our brunch specials today are orange glazed tuna and old country French toast. I don't want old toast, Diane said. I want it to be new. Roger smiled. The French toast is fresh, he said. It's the recipe that's old. The children each ordered French toast. Eric's parents and grandfather ordered fish. It's not just my surprise for Ben that's gone, Grandpa said while he waited for his meal. It's all the pictures I took that are gone, too. I have a camera, Eric's mom said. Ben still has his cap and gown. When we get home, we'll take new pictures. We could do that, Grandpa said sadly, but it won't be the same. I took pictures of Ben getting his diploma. He had such a great big smile. Look at all the people here, Eric whispered to Cam. I bet lots of them were at the graduation. Cam looked around. I think you're right, she said. Eric whispered, maybe Harry and his mother are here. Maybe he doesn't even know he took the wrong bag. Let's look, said Cam. We'll see you next time for chapters 5, 6, and 7 to finish the book.